already been a big fallout in Crown casinos in the wake of yesterday's damning report about the culture in the organisation as it struggles to get a casino licence for the sparkling Barangaroo development in Sydney. Let's catch up with Glenda Corporal, the Associate Business Editor at The Australian, who joins us live from the Sydney CBD. Great to talk to you, Glenda. A couple of directors have gone today. Crown obviously looking to sort of comply with all the criticism. Will more resignations follow, and will Crown be able to get that casino licence?
Well, I think under Helen Coonan, who's the chairman, a former New South Wales senator, she got a pretty big tick of approval, and she took over as chairman of Crown a year ago from John Alexander. So I think she will do whatever she needs to do to make Crown suitable to have a licence. But we've got a ways to go. We've saw, as you said today, 2 Crown directors who are quite linked with James Packer quit the board. There was a third one appointed from Perth who has got rid of his consultancy links with Packer. So the board is, in quotes, Packer free. But there's one critical issue about Ken Barton, the chief executive, former chief financial officer, and he was very strongly criticised in the report, in the Bergen report, who said he's not really suitable. You couldn't have confidence in dealing with him. Now, at the moment, he is still staying on. I understand there's a Crown board meeting tonight. Helen Coonan has had discussions with ILGA, the gaming authority, this afternoon. So there's still a ways to go. And to me, the question is, will Ken Barton stay on as chief executive or as a director of Crown?
It's amazing stuff. Tell us how a board can be James Packer free, if you like, when he has 37% of the company.
Well, I suppose in a sense, those 2 directors are employees of Packer's private company. So there was a direct relationship there. The third director had a consultancy with CPH, but still, and then in the past there was in fact a major shareholder agreement where Packer got sort of direct information as what was going on. Now that agreement has gone, but yeah, so Packer is, you know, just under 37%, but at the moment he has no board representation, and obviously he's a powerful figure, but the Bergen report has made it clear that she doesn't want him to influence what's going on at Crown, and so that will give, to me, Helen Coonan the strength to run her own show. But as I said, there's still a ways to go yet about can she make Crown suitable. I think she will, but there's still processes she'll have to put in place. So James Packer's in Aspen. I think, you know, we know, that's the other thing we know about James. He wants to sell down. I don't know if he wants to get out completely, but for the last 2 years, he has been looking at selling down his interest in Crown. And I think that's his role. If he can't run Crown or influence it, I think he'll want to, you know, take his money off the table and go elsewhere. So
it's fascinating because there is a ways to go. It's a fascinating situation because this Barangaroo dream is essentially his, and I think it's a spectacular building and concept. I think most people would agree, but in order for it to survive and thrive, he's having to step back. Let's have a look at what the New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian had to say about all this today.
Commissioner Bergen has set out the conditions which would make consideration of any future licence acceptable. It's all there in black and white. I want to commend her for the work she's done on behalf of the people of New South Wales, and I'm sure both Crown and any other organisation will read that report carefully and accept what action has to occur before anybody is able to have a licence in New South Wales.
So the Premier sort of confirming there is a path through this. Glenda, the final question, the perhaps $6.4 billion question, do you reckon Crown will get that licence?
I think they will. I mean, there was some discussion today. Philip Crawford, the chairman of ILGA, someone said, could they get it by April? And he said yes. So I think they will. It's just a question of how they get there and who's along for the ride. I think they'll do whatever it takes. But I also hope New South Wales brings in quite strict new casino regulation so that, you know, once it's open, you know, you still need a strong supervisory authority to make sure that some of the practices that we saw, you know, don't happen again.